Hey, what's up guys? Luke from Luke Profits. Amazon logistics tracking has been causing a lot of problems for a lot of drop shippers. Essentially, it's Amazon's own carrier so that they, don't have to pay UPS, USPS, FedEx, something like that. It's just their own carrier where they have cars that go around and, deliver these packages. The main problem that it's caused for people is that they'll give you their own tracking number, but that can only be tracked from within the Amazon account that ordered it, which obviously makes it difficult if you need to win a case or something like that. You say, here's your tracking number, but then nobody can actually check on the tracking number. By and large, before there was a solution for this, people would still put up with it because on average, they'd still be profitable. You'd have more people that were real customers order from you that you would make money from rather than just the few people that would try to scam you and steal the item. So it did still make sense to do even though you'd lose out here and there. But luckily, some really smart people came out with a solution that fixes the entire problem. And that fix is Blue Care tracking. Now, the way that dropshippers can use Blue Care is basically you use a Blue Care tracking number to reference another tracking number. So the Amazon tracking number, of course, you can't directly give that to eBay or the buyer. You won't be able to win a case with it, anything like that, But a Blue Care tracking number is a valid accepted carrier in eBay, so you can win a case if you have that. So what you do is you basically give Blue Care your Amazon tracking number. They can look in your account and see, okay, here are the tracking updates, and then they create a new Blue Care tracking number that's just a reference to the Amazon tracking number. So if you give somebody the Blue Care tracking number, it is just pulling information from Amazon basically to show all the updates. But then those updates are all displayed on this Blue Care tracking number that anybody can search, and then anybody can see all the details without having to be signed into your Amazon account. Blue Care was first implemented by ArbyShip and then later by TrackerBot. And like I said, if you have a Blue Care tracking number, you just put that on eBay like any other tracking number, and it's easy to win any kind of case or anything. And Blue Care is like a big thing that is supported by everything, even like 17track.net. But what if you don't have a Blue Care tracking number? All you have is your Amazon tracking number, and a buyer's trying to open a case against you. What can you do? Well, right off, not all that much. You could call eBay and try to say, hey, I have the track, but it's not going to work. It's that they can't see any tracking updates unless they're signed into your account, so they can't accept it as valid tracking, and they're not going to. There is one way, though, that sometimes you can get your money back even if all you have is Amazon tracking, and that's if you can trick the buyer into admitting that they got the item. Several months ago, something happened to me. A buyer ordered, I think it was a $40, $50 item, something like that, and it ended up having Amazon logistics tracking. And then they said, oh, I never got it. Luckily, half the time when Amazon delivers the item, they take a picture of it that you can see. So what I did was I went on to Amazon and I got the photo. I responded to their case and I said, hey, thanks for reaching out. Here's a photo of the item delivered on your front porch. Now, of course, the buyer could have just said nothing at all, and I would have lost the case and they would have got to keep the item. But the buyer freaked out, and what they did was they said, oh, well, yeah, that's the item on my front porch, but it must have gotten stolen or something. So what I did was I called up eBay and I said, hey, I got a buyer here who's saying that they never got the item when I know that they did. And they said, oh, I'm so sorry about that, but it looks like you've uploaded Amazon tracking, and we don't accept that as tracking because we can't track it, blah, 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 and I'm so sorry, you just lose your money. I said, hold on a second, forget about the tracking. Let's just look at what the buyer said right here. They said, I never got the item. And then I said, here's a photo of the item delivered on your front porch. And then they said, oh yeah, well, that is the item there sitting on my front porch. It must have gotten stolen or something. So the buyer admitted to having received the item. Do you think you can get me my money back? And then they were like, yeah, I guess since the buyer admits that they got it, we can get you your money back. If you can get the buyer to admit that it arrived at their house, even if it was stolen or something, if you can get them to say, oh yeah, it made it here to my house successfully, then you've done your job and you should get the money. You might just have to call eBay and have them give it back to you. But what if you don't even have that and it was an expensive item, $100 or something like that? Is there anything at all you can do if the buyer just remains silent? If you've been using ArbyShip like I recommend to automatically fill your orders, then contact support right away if you don't have a Blue Care tracking number. It usually takes, have to wait till it ships, but occasionally you'll have items that just take a little bit longer. So if it's just one of those that says success but doesn't say shipped, but Amazon's showing it's shipped, contact support and see if they can get it converted for you. But if that doesn't work, all that you need to win is a valid tracking number that shows that something or other was delivered to the buyer's address. Just saying. If you guys have any other tricks or anything like that on how to keep your money when a buyer's trying to scam you or something, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to read them. I'm sure it'd be helpful to everybody new here. And also, if you're new to dropshipping, I got a full free course. Got everything that you need to know about how to get set up and started and configure all the settings and all the accounts and software and everything like that to use. Well, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys in a couple days.